Have you ever wondered if your life actually has a purpose? Or if you're just trying to figure things out as you go? What if, even in the middle of your confusion, pain, and waiting, God already has a plan for you? The Bible tells us something powerful in Book of Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Think about that for a moment. God doesn't say He might have a plan. He says He knows the plan. That means your life isn't random, and your struggles aren't meaningless. Throughout Scripture, we see people who couldn't see God's plan while they were living through their hardest moments. Consider Joseph in the book of Genesis. Joseph had dreams from God about a great future, but his reality looked nothing like the promise. His brothers betrayed him. He was sold into slavery. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison. Imagine how confusing that must have been. God gave him a dream, but everything in life seemed to contradict it. Yet years later, Joseph stood as a ruler in Egypt, saving countless lives during a famine.
"You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good."
God had been working through every painful moment. Or think about Moses in the book of Exodus. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness, probably thinking his life had taken a wrong turn. But that wilderness wasn't wasted. It was preparation. God was shaping a shepherd who would one day lead an entire nation out of slavery. And then there's David. Before he ever wore a crown, he spent years running for his life, hiding in caves, and wondering when God's promise would finally come true. But through every delay, every trial, and every unanswered question, God was forming the leader David would become. The truth is, God's plan often unfolds in ways we don't understand at first. Sometimes the waiting feels long. Sometimes the pain feels unfair. Sometimes the direction feels unclear. But Scripture reminds us in book of Romans 8:28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Notice it doesn't say some things. It says all things, even the setbacks, even the disappointments, even the seasons when life feels completely off track. God sees the whole story while we only see the current chapter. Your failures don't cancel God's plan. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Your struggles don't surprise Him. The same God who guided Joseph through betrayal, Moses through the wilderness, and David through years of waiting is still guiding lives today, and that includes yours. So if you're in a season where life feels uncertain, remember this truth. God's plan is bigger than your current situation. What feels like delay may actually be preparation. What feels like a setback may be a setup for something greater. Trust Him, keep walking in faith, and hold on to His promises. Because the God who writes the greatest stories is still writing yours.